Let's be honest, the fitness world is delusional. Everywhere you look, you see these guys online training 6, sometimes 7 days a week, smashing 20 sets per muscle group, doing endless isolation work, and walking around looking like comic book characters. And the problem is, most people see that and think that's the blueprint. They think that if they just work hard enough, if they train longer, if they copy what those guys do, they'll look just like them. But here's the truth that most people don't want to accept. You're not on steroids. And that's not an insult. It's just a biological fact. And that completely changes the rules of the game. You can't train like them. You can't recover like them. You can't grow like them. And if you try to, all you're doing is setting yourselves up for burnout, injuries, and frustration. Now, this isn't about me calling out enhanced lifters. In fact, some of my biggest inspirations were enhanced. But it's about protecting natural athletes from wasting years, chasing a fantasy that doesn't apply to their physiology. We live in an era where the average gym goer's expectations are completely distorted. Social media has flooded your feed with highlight reels, shredded physiques, insane volume training sessions, and transformations that look impossible, because they are impossible for most people. The majority of these influencers aren't training naturally. They're using compounds that change the way their bodies function. Testosterone derivatives, growth hormones, recovery agents. And that's fine if they're open about it. But the issue is many of them aren't. They sell programs and supplements as if you could achieve the same thing naturally. So you follow their splits. You hit chest 3 times a week. You do 20 sets of back. You throw in supersets and drop sets like candy. But your results, minimal. Your energy, drained. Your joints, screaming. The truth is, the way you should train as a natural lifter is completely different because your body plays by a different set of rules. Let's talk biology for a second. When someone uses anabolic steroids, their body operates in an enhanced state of recovery. Testosterone levels are elevated for beyond natural limits. Protein synthesis, the process that builds new muscle tissue, is happening at a much faster rate. Their muscles repair faster, their joints recover quicker, their central nervous system bounces back in days instead of a week. So when a steroid user trains 6 days a week with insane volume, their body can handle it. They can hit chest on Monday, annihilate it, and come back on Wednesday ready to do it again. A natural lifter? No chance. Your recovery rate is slower, your hormonal response is limited, you'll break down muscle during training, but the building happens when you rest. You don't give your body that time. You're not building, you're just digging yourself deeper into a recovery hole. That's why most naturals spin their wheels. They're overtrained, under-recovered, and constantly chasing progress that never comes because their bodies are in survival mode. So here's where most people go wrong. They copy the wrong people. They see a pro bodybuilder doing 8 different chest exercises, 25 sets in one session, and think that must be the key. But they don't realize that bodybuilder is enhanced, genetically elite, and has been training for 15 plus years. As a natural, you don't need to chase exhaustion. You need to chase progressive overload and recovery. If your muscles aren't recovering, you're not growing, period. It doesn't matter how hard you train, how many exercises you do, or how long you spend in the gym. What matters is, can your body recover from the work you just did? Training like someone on steroids is like driving a car built for racing, but on an empty gas tank. You'll redline for a few seconds and then ultimately crash. If you're a natural, your training should revolve around a few key principles: simplicity, consistency, recovery, and intensity. You don't need to train 6 days a week. You can make insane progress training 3 to 4 times weekly if your sessions are structured right. Start with compound movements, squats, presses, rows, pull-ups. These are the exercises that you can build your foundation on. Keep your volume in check. 8 to 12 total sets per muscle group per week is more than enough. Focus on progression. Add weight, add reps, or improve control week by week. And most importantly, respect recovery. That means sleep, nutrition, and rest days, because recovery is growth. You're not weak for resting, you're smart. You're building longevity, not just fatigue tolerance. And here's another truth for you. Comparison kills progress. When you compare your natural progress to someone who's enhanced, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. It's not a fair comparison, and it never will be. That doesn't mean you can't be inspired by them. You can look at a bodybuilder's work ethic and use it as fuel. but never copy their blueprint, because your journey is built differently. If you can't accept that and learn to play the game, you'll actually go further. The natural athlete's path is slower, but it's real. Every ounce of muscle you build, every lift you hit, every PR you achieve, it's earned. That's what makes it valuable. That's what gives it meaning. Enhanced lifters can push their limits because their chemistry helps them recover. But as a natural athlete, your biggest weapon isn't intensity, it's sustainability. The guys who win in the long run are the ones who can train year after year without breaking down. Think about it. What good is it training 6 days a week if you're injured by the third month? What good is doing 20 sets per session if your joints are destroyed before you hit your 30s? The goal isn't to see how much you can take. The goal is to see how long you can build. Longevity is the real flex. Being in shape year round, being strong and healthy for decades, that's the win. Being natural forces you to develop something. It's called patience. Because when you're not enhanced, progress is slower, more gradual. You won't wake up 10 pounds heavier the next month. You won't add 40 pounds to your bench overnight. But that's where the magic happens. You start learning the rhythm of your body. You start respecting the process. You learn how to adjust your training, how to listen to fatigue, how to balance intensity with recovery. Most people quit before their real potential even shows up. But if you stay consistent for years, not weeks, not months, you'll build a physique that's undeniable, natural, and sustainable. You see, hard work isn't about destroying yourself every session. It's not about training until you collapse. It's about showing up consistently with purpose and executing with intent. It's easy to train hard for a few weeks. It's hard to train smart for a few years. That's the difference between emotion and discipline. You don't have to be on steroids to look great. You just have to stop training like you are and start training like someone who respects recovery, values longevity, and plays the long game. At the end of the day, being natural isn't a limitation. It's a test of your mindset. It forces you to think long term, to trust the process, to respect your body. The world is obsessed with shortcuts, enhancements, and instant gratification. But real strength, real growth, doesn't come from shortcuts. It comes from consistency, discipline, and time. So if you're watching this and you're a natural, stop training like you're enhanced. Train smart, train with intent. Take pride in your recovery. Build your body brick by brick, day by day. And again, I have nothing against enhanced lifters. A lot of them have fantastic programs. Their work ethic and discipline is second to none. However, you as a natural have to take your own journey, your own path, and take your destiny into your own hands. So again, use them for inspiration and motivation. That's great. But overall, you are your own project.